into a Kalia, also a very interesting choice. But I understand why, because granted, he is an aggressive player.
You got to make those plays sometimes.
Exactly.
That's the level of mechanical execution that we were looking for. Speaking of which, looks like Influence Rage, you were right, Leo, on blue side, Team Liquid ID on the red, with the bands of Jawhead join as well as the Fanny this time around on blue. Team Liquid ID decide to get rid of the Loyi, the Hayabusa, and they have one more option.
Yeah. Liquid here should ban this Suyo and then see where it ends up.
I was about to bring up the topic about Kalia, but now I want to see whether TLID is going to be like, we're confident in our Jushin versus the Kalia, so therefore, let's get rid of the Suyo for free.
No, they'd rather get rid of the Harith.
Oh.
This does leave open a few choices that doesn't usually end up in the draft here. Again, the Zushin. Matilda is left open. Granger is still a solid pickup. And of course, Suyo.
I don't know, for some reason I feel
Did I
like
say
TLID, yeah. TLID, they're not concerned about that kind of thing, right? That's why I think they opted to let it go, altogether. The Matilda though gets locked in first pick. This is not something that we've seen too much of especially on our stream A.
Because she always gets banned.
She usually always gets banned. Hard to utilize. There's a lot of small things which eventually add up to the bigger picture towards mid to late game. Team Liquid ID now going to be locked in the classics, of course, Suyo, and as well as Granger one more time. Aaron Shiki was having the time of his life in game number 1, so it makes sense that St. DeLucas is like, well, let's do it one more time.
So what are we looking at here for the Matilda? What is it going to be paired up with? Are we looking at the Alpha in the jungle? Phoveus is left open. That can be picked up by Moonsters. Well, we saw the combo Alpha Matilda yesterday. It did lose.
It was forced. But I do like the Phoveus. Again, very rarely too does Phoveus get open in this part of the draft. So Influence Rage should do well to match their colors with that hero. Very strong. What else? Do you invest in gold already? Or do you just let it go? You just say, hey, Fury, just hunker down. Just try to survive the first 8 minutes, man.
Do your best, sir. Do your best. I don't know. I'm curious. I want to pick your brain on a couple of things. Number one, Alpha Matilda used to be a very powerful combo. Not to mention that your new Alpha skin looking phenomenal. So great. So cool. And you've played hours, games upon games upon games of Alpha. Why aren't we seeing it happen more often against the Suyo? I mean, used to be the classic matchup.
Yeah, the game has changed. The way Alpha hard commits into fights, sure, you can repair that with a Matilda, but you're fixing something that has been outdated. It's basically rocking an iPod. Basic iPod in 2025. It's still good. You're listening to music, but the rest of the world is on the newest phone. The rest of the world is listening in their friggin' Tesla Cybertrucks. It's just very outdated. Maybe if you're left with just that as an option, sure. But I think Team Liquid read into it and say, hey, they might be going for some cheese. That might be the only option they have left. So now they're saying, hey, you better have a Hanzo. You better have a... Dear God, what? A Bane?
A Ling.
A Ling?
Yeah, which doesn't really, synergize well with the Matilda, essentially. I think the only hero that Jotun has picked up other than what we were talking about earlier on is, the Hayabusa. So, you're right, the Bane does work. Oh, yeah. Bane Connoisseur.
Bane Connoisseur, of course.
Connoisseur.
Yes, I think... it feels kind of bad because if you do play Bane in these types of positions, you're usually just going to get poked out by Mr. Aaron Shiki.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And not to mention that they still haven't picked over the mid laner, so I think that Influence Rage, I'm surprised that Kalia now is only getting banned up because Team Liquid ID are going to their natural pillars, of course.
They're getting very comfortable. So now I'm hoping that Influence Rage has that in their back pocket. Again, an out-of-meta gold jungler and a solid... Oh my God, no. They don't have an XP laner anymore. It's in there. It's Phoveus. I was going to say, if they somehow end up with a Hylos and then the Bane, this would be good. Because you can put the Hylos in the XP, but no, the Phoveus I don't feel is enough of a front line to support a Bane.
I think the worst part about this is that TLID can still use that Hilda as a flex pick. Like, worst comes to worst is like, oh, I realize that your composition isn't very good at like maintaining that front line. I can just have, again, a winning lane in the CC, which again, Aran is phenomenal at as well. He's played this matchup years in the making. Speaking of which, the Jushin gets banned out finally from the side of Influence Rage with the first pick of the second phase going over TLID. This is where they show their mid lane, right? There we go, the Farsa.
Classic Farsa. All the way back to Syndrome Yehezkiel, one of his signature picks, power picks, I would say at this point. So we're looking at comfort here. I'm not surprised if we're going to be seeing something like the Hylos maybe come through next for TLID. A lot more dive. They can also penetrate into the backline. I think Sicilian would also have a big problem. So the big question is now for Influence Rage with having both them, Matilda and the Phobius. What's going to be the next two picks? We're looking at jungle and gold laner.
They spelled it out too soon. Team Liquid ID, SLD, and SDL, I'm sorry. SDL and Facehugger, they control the draft from this side completely. Now Influence Rage puts Claude into Fury's hands, and what do we see in mid? What do we see on Chan? Or rather, what do we see in the jungle? What do we see on Jotun?
It's gotta be something decent, something that's able to kind of be very evasive. Oh no, they're going straight into tanks. Okay, so now they're going to solely play right from the start around the Sicilian as their main crux of their comp.
Did you hear Barats?
Yeah, was that a Barats or a Baxia? Folks, guys watching, you would also have had your alarms go off. We'll see in just a bit. But right now, Liquid ID is locking in their pick. We'll see later in a bit. But either way, Baxia or Barats, I don't like it.
It's tough. It's going to be a tough play.
I just got to be honest.
Man, it's really rough to play, especially when you don't have that early push, because I feel like now Influence Rage is definitely forced to play mid to late game. And even then, knowing that Team Liquid ID are going to take full advantage, having priority on a majority of their lanes, it's going to be a tough call.
To play devil's advocate, Claude is standing at 100% win rate.
Can we please have a look at the sample size one more time here?
Literally 3 times played. It's not too good.
Yeah. So for Influence Rage, like, it would be very generous to give him the 50-50 here.
It would be very
generous. So Liquid ID, look at that draft. How often do you see these players with these signature picks?
Look, this is the TLID branding right across the poster boys right here, right? Like, you're looking at Aaron Cheeky, you're thinking Granger already.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got it all down. I'm going to leave it to you guys to cast this game. For game number 2, it's Influence Rage up against TLID with Leo and Eterna.
Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, in the Snapdragon Pro Series Mobile Masters, our opening match of the day, and we're going to see exactly whether or not the Brazilian team Influence Rage, who was all the rage yesterday, can make a similar thing happen today. It's match point for TLID, breaking up the first game earlier on. So, back again, Leo, this is not the best of a composition that we're seeing, but the one thing that I can mention for Influence Rage is the fact that they do have the Sicilian that can help them carry on into the late game. But the big question is, will we even get to that point?
Yeah, again, it's going to take a while. Weedy, though, gets popped. Dear God, 4 members of Influence Rage converge onto that little Wanderer. This is something we did not expect. Again, we might have spoken too soon, but the logic stands. This lineup should not be finding success this early on. Now, into that wide rush, they pick a fight. Monsters very low. Monsters might not walk away from this engagement. Neither does Paquito. And now they got one more. Eyes on Jotun. Get punished hard. 3 for 1. The delayed exchange. Liquid ID up 1,000.
Absolutely not worth it, right? A 3-for-1 trade in this early portion of the game. It looked okay in the beginning. Maybe
some hope.
They haven't seen, you know, the Baxia being played in very often as a jungler, and maybe they were, you know, kind of, what do you call it? What's the word?
Underutilized?
No, like they didn't expect that much.
I see, they underestimated it.
There you go.
I got you. Sorry, I'm still flummoxed and perplexed by the emblem choices. I wonder if that's true, and it's correct. Aran here is going to get out fine. Is that the Baxia Rockin', not Seasoned Hunter? Eterna. Folks, this Baxia on Jotun is rocking agility, move speed, and was that right, Weapon Master?
I mean, we gotta take a look at it again.
Oh, they're collapsing on to Influence Rage on their side of the map after the turtle. They make a beeline for Jotun's buff and his body.
2,000 goldly now for TLID, for the cavalry at this point. Things are going exactly the way we were, you know, kind of thinking. You can already see Fabian as well as Weedy very confident going into the enemy jungle.
Oh my god, another stolen buff.
Boom! He didn't get it. Jotun is working without purple buff.
Oh, Grand Theft Purple. He should file a report.
He should ASAP, considering Jotun level 4 compared to Fabian at level 2.
Paquito popped.
Gone. out. Now you see him, now you don't. So that lead has also increased 5-1 already. Very, very aggressive. They're controlling every side of the map, and Iran on his signature Hilda. This is a 2v1 situation. I mean, come on.
He'll be fine. Walks out of that brush. Scot-free didn't even need the pop sprint. Up top, though, speaking of which, Fury gets blasted by Yehezkiel and Arashiki from both directions.
Already 1-0-0 in the early stage of the game. Witty looking for something else?
What? Kicks him. No follow-up. Fabian, I can see a smile on his face. Gotcha, Witty. Will Christian try to get away? He won't. The punish from Munsters.
He finally gets taken down, but that's 2 kills given over by TLID for Influence Rage, but both on Witty. So, again, they are looking for trains on the map. There is something that can be done. We're not too far, you know, powdering their fingers. They're gonna go all in. Wait, what happened?
Another kill on Yotun.
Oh,
I don't even know where
man.
from.
Who got the kill? You know, either or he gets taken down yet another time. And we did talk about it a little bit during the break. That's not what we wanted.
Oh my god, how did Paquito get in that position? Was that a circling eagle?
Yeah, he did.
Alright, well, we're still figuring out exactly, folks, where the game ended before we resumed and how it was. But there's like thrown out here by Yehezkiel, pushing out the rest of Influence Rage, but they still want to fight for this buff. This is not the hill to die on. As Aran pulls out, that buff had no business being there when they know that Liquid ID was going to go for both them and the purple. Oh my god, nothing on Influence Rage just yet.
No. So we are going to be waiting on 2 things. The 2 pillars, I would say, for Influence Rage right now. The winning conditions for Influence Rage, which is Chan as well as Fury. How safe can they play it? How many stacks can Chan get? And how fast can Fury get to the item power spikes? Right now, TLID understanding this, they're controlling everything on the map. Jotun!
Oh no, one more.
Oh.
Gets hit with a full combo by Witty. Served up a kill. Off camera, Chan falls. Fury get one over Witty though, and Fury falls. Just bodies, violence, casualties all over the map. And Liquid ID looking to turn this into something. There is a push up top and a push down bottom.
This is a slaughter, Leo. There's no better way to put it right now. TLID are controlling every single thing on the map. They're controlling structures. They have a 7,000 gold lead in 5 minutes. 11-3 in 5 minutes. Almost a perfect turtle. And it's not perfect just because of timing. Right? Because at this point, I don't see a way where they're going to be able to go for a contest. Fabian is already level 11 compared to Jotun at... Is that 6?
Yep, Jotun is at level 6, so twice the level gap is Fabian, and now the full kick combo onto Jotun. He does get saved, though, by the guiding winds, so a little bit of a silver lining. Yehezkiel with the wings by wings, failed air strike, looking to finish the job. Jotun gets caught out by Adam into the back line, not so fast. The blazing duet here by Fury, not enough damage yet on this Claude. Team Liquid ID continues to fight. Munsters looking to stop the bleeding. Instead, he just gets out of there. Another guiding winds by Paquito. At least the fighting stops.
The horses are angry here, right? They've taken the rage out of Influence Rage and given it over to themselves. Look at the control that they're still holding onto. We're seeing Influence Rage kind of fight back here and there, but again, they're not ready for this. Fury only has a corrosion scythe. It's as compared to Aaron Shiki, who's already at 201. I wonder what his items are at the moment, but yet again, another neutral objective given over. That's perfect turtle for TLID.
Shiki here working on that top lane. He does get 4. Is that 4, ladies and gentlemen? Circling Eagle catches the untouchable one. Despite Yehezkiel and Witty's efforts to save their gold laner, Influence Rage gets a kill.
That's it, right? That's a turnaround. Okay, that's great, right? They need to find more opportunities like this. It's a good shutdown. It's gonna kind of prevent those stacks from the Sky Piercer that's already built up for Aaron Shiki to kind of hinder a little. But then what's next?
That's not going to happen very often. They definitely just found that small window to punish Aaron Shiki. Again, it is the perfect target. You just keep taking down Shiki. He stops scaling. And for the first time in a while, Jotun tastes some orange buff. This is a good time for Influence Rage. I wonder how they'll find the momentum. Where do they go from here? You're right. That's a good question.
Okay, Witty's in the vicinity. Aran is there. He got his orange buff, but now he's looking for the purple buff. and he will get it.
All right, it looks like Liquid ID has slowed down the pace. I guess this is just in an effort to slow push top lane. Now they're looking at mid. Feather Strike thrown out. Blast and Chan
Whoa.
a few bits here. Fabian gets the push. They refuse to collapse. All right, Liquid ID are slowing down. More procedural, more purposeful push.
Okay, and we do see finally DHS being built up for Fury, so just one item away to get to that Holy Trinity. TLID though, despite being a little bit more methodical, is that a word?
Methodical.
Methodical, that's a word. Methodical about their approach here. They're still holding the control, still the 8,000 gold lead. But the airstrike gets opened up just to zone the members of Influence Rage away so they can take this turtle with absolutely no problem.
So they're going for the checklist bit by bit. Holy Shields first, and then we go for the Lord. Spawning down lower quarter of the map. Already mid and top lane, Holy Shields popped. Widdy in trouble. Does have Yotun and Paquito on his tail. Liquid takes the last tier 2.
Leo,
Yes.
what is 15 minus 8?
That's 7.
7 levels behind?
Yep, it was twice prior, 6 to 12. But I wonder when Fabian hit level 15, because yesterday there was a record set by the Beast King Kong, level 15 and 8. I wonder if Fabian hit the same rate here today.
Oh, we can ask Zipper.
Yeah,
we can ask
lost,
him to double
we
check.
lost track, but it was very fast, because again, Fabian was stealing buffs left and right.
I have not seen a 7 XP gap in my life.
Now we have.
4
Surprise.
years of casting.
Ever.
7 XP gap.
Now they're knocking in Influence Rage's doors here. Lord jumps in, slowly but surely. Widdy fighting in the paint here. Underneath tier 1, does go down to a fourth of his health. Turret finally falls. Lord still standing. Bit of a chubby wave left down bottom. Top lane as well. Influence Rage is literally just doing everything they can to stop this boat from sinking.
Yeah, Inhibitor turret here goes down in the mid lane, and it doesn't look like there are anything left for TLID to work with. Technically, they do still have high ground, right? They have Chan, they have Fury technically. Not the best of range, but a little bit more safe with the PMI. But there's still hope for Chan. He is on glowing one. Oh, but look at that feather airstrike damage!
Eterna, you're talking about range, you're talking about kit, but what about items? They're down 12k. Basically, the skill hits from Chan might even feel a little ticklish to Team Liquid ID, because look, they're taking it to the face.
Yeah, he only has the glowing one and the elegant gem. It's gonna take some time,
At
yeah.
10.5 minutes, yeah, I'm giving them minimum 16. If all goes well in 16 minutes, then maybe they can fight. Now the
cancel?
better airstrike, they commit to it, almost going out of the base. Influence Rage, but they know their depth. They know how firepowered they are by Team Liquid, and they retreat.
So what's the call now for TLID? Do they wait for the next Lord to spawn in 60 seconds, or do they look for yet another opening to push? Because now Influence Rage, Fury in particular, already has the golden staff. I know that there's a lot of, physical immunity built in already for TLID, but with just a couple more items, that could affect. This could be the game-changing moment that Influence Rage needs.
Yeah, that's why I'd reckon the correct answer is freeze the lanes, wait for that Lord, and just take everything away from the jungle you can from Influence Rage. And that's exactly what Liquid are doing. You see a green dot, take it. You see a buff, take it. And then you wait for the Lord.
Okay, we can see that happening, right? The lanes are slowly being pushed out. We're looking at Influence Rage getting some information, a little scouting into the jungle, their own jungle. But I agree, Influence Rage at this point, do they wait for the push?
Oh yeah, they cannot contest. I'd still say they cannot contest.
5 levels below.
No one is in any shape to force a fight from Liquid. So now Liquid blitzing the Lord here, timing it well. Lord spawns in just 2.
14,000 gold lead.
Yep. Oh, they skip the window then. I guess Lord comes out way off. Lord comes out 20 seconds from now.
Okay, so that's a little bit more, time for Influence Rage to kind of gather up their spirits to what could possibly be the game-ending Lord push for TLID.
Yep. So we can expect Lord to come out 15 seconds from now. Feather Strike spent out here by Yehezkiel, spacing out the rest of Influence Rage as TLID escort a siege minion underneath tier 3 down bottom and does not still come down. So still successful defense by Influence Rage.
Yeah, the tower is still standing there. You see Munster's already building up some magic defense. Let's see whether or not this is going to be enough.
Oh, the kick by Weedy. The flicker out by Monsters. And they crash in. Fury gets taken down by Yehezkiel. Monsters fall as well. And it's just all they could do. Influence Rage here. Gonna go down. Liquid ID scores the sweep. 13 minutes and 17 seconds in.
GG, well played. It's TLID with a 2-0 victory over Influence Rage.